All right, guys, let's go ahead and get started with lesson 17. Lesson 16 was all about learning the rules of adding and multiplying odd and even numbers. Today's lesson is going to be some divisibility rules, so we're going to be working with division today, specifically with 3 and 9. So today's objective is I can apply divisibility rules specifically for 3 and 9 to understand factors and multiples. All right, guys, the opening exercise. It says below is a list of 10 numbers. Place each number in the circles that is a factor of the number. Some numbers can be placed in more than one circle. For example, if 32 were on the list, it would be placed in the circles with 2, 4, and 8 because they are all factors of 32. So a factor is a number that goes into another number. Okay, so I want you to pause the video, maybe on a separate sheet of paper, draw some circles like this, and try to put the numbers up here into the appropriate circle or circles, because the same number can be can go into more than one circle. All right, so pause the video, take your time to do that real fast. You should have paused the video. Okay, we're gonna go over the answers to this. So if you were in, so for the 2 circle, okay, these are the numbers that belonged in the 2 circle. The rule for 2 is really easy, okay? As long as the number is an even number, 2 can go into it, okay? So that's an easy rule to remember. 4 is a little bit harder, okay? These are the numbers for the factors of 4, or the multiples of 4. We will learn about the rule for finding multiples of 4. Here is the list for the number 5. 5 is also an easy one as long as the number ends with a 0 or a 5. Okay, 5 can go into it. 8 is also a harder one. We will go over the rules for the number 8 as well. And those are the 3 numbers only for 8. And 10 is an easy one, okay? As long as the number ends with a 0, then 10 can go into that number. All right? Now, here are the rules, the divisibility rules, okay? For 2, if and only if it's unit digit, which means the number in the ones place, is 0, 2, 4, 6, or 8. The rule for 4, if only if its 2 last digits are a number divisible by 4. Okay, and the rule for 5, if and only if its unit digit is 0 or 5. The divisibility rule for 8, if and only if its 3 last digits are a number divisible by 8. And the divisibility rule for 10, if and only if its unit digit is 0. Okay, so the hard ones here to remember are 4 and 8. Okay, that means for number 4, you have to look at the last 2 digits of a number. And if that number is divisible by 4, the whole number is divisible by 4. So looking at 414,940, okay, the last 2 numbers is 40, okay? So that's telling me 4 can go into 40. That means it's divisible by 4. Okay, 360, the last 2 numbers are 60, okay? 4 can go into 60 15 times evenly. Okay, so when you're looking for multiples of 4, look at the last 2 numbers, especially if it's a huge number. Okay, now for 8, you're going to look at the last 3 numbers. Okay, and we're going to look at this more in depth in a bit. So let's look at these numbers. Let's take a second to look at them. It says, what do the numbers 12, 18, 30, 66, and 93 all have in common? Well, they are divisible by 3, okay? Now at the bottom it says, calculate the sum of the digits for each number. What do the sums have in common? Okay, so what they want us to do, 1 plus 2 is 3, 1 plus 8 is 9, 3 plus 0 is 0, 6 plus 6 is 12, and 9 plus 3 is 12 as well. Now, the rule in finding numbers divisible by 3 is you add up all the numbers in the digits, and if the sum of those numbers is divisible by 3, the whole number is divisible by 3. Okay, when the sums of a number's digits is divisible by 3, the entire number is divisible by 3. Okay, add the digits to see if it's divisible by 3. Now let's look at this set of numbers: 27, 36, 54, 72. What do those all have in common? Well, they are all divisible by 9. And 9 has the same rule. I'm going to add 2 and 7. Okay, that's 9. 3 and 6, that's also 9. 5 and 4, that's 9. 7 plus 2, that's 9. And 9 plus 9 is 18. All of those are divisible by 9. Okay, when the sums of the digits is divisible by 3 and 9, the entire number is divisible by 9. Okay, so the rules for 3 and 9: add up the digits in a number, okay, especially if it's a big number, and if the sum of those digits is divisible by 3 or 9, then the entire thing is divisible by 3 or 9. Okay, so let's look at 765 together. Okay, it says let's see if this number is divisible by 3, 9, or both. So let's add them. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. So my sum is 18. Can 3 go into 18? Yes, it can. Can 9 go into 18? Yes, it can. So the answer is both. All right, now the divisibility rule for 3. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, then the number is divisible by 3. Divisibility rule for 9. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 9, then the number is divisible by 9. Okay? Now, at the bottom it says if a number is divisible by 9, it is also divisible by 3. But if a number is divisible by 3, it is not necessarily divisible by 9. Okay? So take that into consideration when you're figuring problems out. Okay? Now, let's look at exercise 1. Okay? It says circle all the numbers that are factors of the given number, complete any necessary work provided. Okay, so the number is 2,838. Now let's look at the number 4 first. The rule for looking at the number 4 is you have to look at the last 2 digits, okay, which is 38. Can 4 go into 38 evenly? It can't, so 4 is not a factor. Okay, now the rules for 3 and 9, we have to add up all the digits. So 2 plus 8 is 10, plus 3 is 13, plus 8 is 21. So the sum is 21. 3 can go into 21, but 9 can't. Okay? So explain your reasoning. The sum is 21, which is only divisible by 3. Okay? Let's go ahead and do some more examples. Let's look at number 2. 34,515 is divisible by which of these numbers? And it says explain your reasoning. Well, right off the bat, I see that it ends with a 5, so I know 5 is going to be a factor because that's one of the rules. Now, for 3 and 9, we have to add up the digits to see if we are divisible by 3 or 9. So 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 plus 1 is 13. 13 plus 5 is 18. So the sum is 18. 3 can go into 18, and 9 can go into 18. So explain your reasoning. So the first is it ends with the 5. That's the reasoning for 5, okay? And then the sum is 18. Okay, which means 3 and 9 can go into it. All right, let's look at number 3. Number 3 says it gives us 10,534,341, and they give us 3, 9, and 2. So right off the bat, I know this is an odd number, okay? So 2 cannot be divided into that number because it is odd, okay? Now we have to add these up because 3 and 9, that's the rule, okay? So 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 4 is 13, 13 plus 3 is 16, 16 plus 4 is 20, and 20 plus 1 is 21. So the sum is 21. 3 can go into 21, but 9 cannot. So explain your reasoning for your choices. The sum is 21, okay? Which can only be divisible of 3. All right, guys, 4 and 5. Go ahead and try these two on your own. Okay, pause the video real fast, and I will go over them after you pause the video. All right, so you should have paused the video. Let's look at number 4. So right off the bat, this number ends with a 0, so I know 10 is a multiple of that. I know this because any number that ends with a 0, 10 can go into. Okay, now let's add up the digits. This is 7 plus 2 is 9. 9 plus 0 is still 9. So the answer is 9. Okay? 3 can go into 9. 9 can go into itself. Explain your reasoning. Ends with the 0. And the sum is 9. All right, guys, we are almost there. Number 5. Says 6,240 is divisible by 3, 9, or 2. So right off the bat, this is an even number because it ends with the 0, so I know it can be divided by 2. Okay, now let's add up the digits. 6 plus 2 is 8. Okay, 8 plus 4 is 12. So our sum is 12. 9 can't go into 12, but 3 can. Okay, explain your reasoning. The sum is 12. Okay, awesome, guys. So here are the rules, okay, lesson summary. To determine if a number is divisible by 3 or 9, calculate the sum of the digits. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 3, the entire thing is divisible by 3. If the sum of the digits is divisible by 9, the entire number is divisible by 9. If a number is divisible by 9, the number is also divisible by 3. But if a number is divisible by 3, that does not necessarily mean that it will be divisible by 9. So keep that in mind, okay, guys? Now you have a problem set. Try your best on this. I will send it to you. I will not grade it, okay? I'm just going to see if you can do good on this. I will post a video of me doing this real fast in tomorrow's lesson so you can check your answers. All right, guys, have a great day.